Alright, hello guys, welcome back to The Long Dark. So last time we had pretty much gotten all of our preparations completed, and we are ready to go out and be nomads, because that's kind of what we're doing now. It is a brand new day. I am going to eat some junk food so I don't actually dig into my rabbit that I am carrying. And I'm going to make sure I have enough water. What am I actually carrying? Oh, I've got space. Am I missing something? Let me double check here. Fire striker, tinder, plus matches because I already have them. We'll find fuel in the woods. I've got bandages. We can find antiseptic and such, antibiotics, painkillers. We can find that in the wild, no problem. I have clothing in all my slots and nothing additional. And I'm wearing the rabbit skin mitts I made, which is good. I've got nothing but meat that I've cooked, plus water. I've got a cooking pot, fishing gear, knife, hatchet, rifle, revolver, pry bar, bullets, plus the shells that I'll take later. Bow, I don't have arrows yet, which is fine. Lantern, snares, a little extra cloth just in case. Feathers, and then of course that deer hide that I've already cured. Okay, yeah, I basically have everything. I'm gonna eat junk food here, as I call it, because I want to make sure I keep the rabbit on me for later. How thirsty am I? Let's grab the maple syrup, and let's grab the sardines, and we'll start with that. Let's see what we got going on here. I like how we just chugged that whole container of maple syrup. That's just hilarious to me. I don't know why. it's just the mental image is so funny. Now I still have plenty of water. Let's add another gallon and see... Okay, we're a little over encumbered, so we'll put just a little bit back. Okay, perfect. I want to make sure that I am carrying everything I need, and the more water I can carry, the less I need to stop to make some water. Oh, let me actually do one more thing first, because I need to drink some water. So I'm carrying 1.81 in total, minus 0.12. Go ahead and give me that. Yes, perfect. Alright, now we're good to go. Alright. I think the first place I'm gonna go... Actually, I know where I'm gonna go. Alright. I was gonna go to the Timberwolf Mountain, but I thought about it, and I think I would rather go to Hush River Valley. There is something there that I would like to grab. Okay. We are... Oh, there's the bear. We are officially nomads now, guys. We're not gonna stop and hang around any longer than it takes to cure a hide. We're basically just gonna wander around and see the sights. This is actually my first time playing a file of this type. Normally I do hunker down and thoroughly explore everything, but we're just gonna wander and see where it takes us. I have exactly one destination in mind, and we'll just go as much as we can until we get there. That's how we'll do this. This is gonna be interesting. There may be a lot of quiet moments, but The Long Dark is called the Quiet Apocalypse, so I would say we're good on that front. willing to bet I'm going to sprain something going up this hill. I usually do. It's just such a long... Yep, there it is. But, the good news is, we can treat that. Watch, I'm gonna end up spraying something else. This is why I took the rope the other day. Okay. So that part's done. Alright, cool. Let's get this taken care of. Don't use it on the pain. Make sure you specify you're using it on the ankle itself. Because otherwise it's just gonna be like, oh, you're using it on the pain part, which doesn't do anything. Now, I do still have pain that goes with it. You can see that as the edge of my screen blurs occasionally. That will fade on its own in a few hours' time. I can also sleep off the ankle. I think you only have to rest for like 3 or 4 hours, but in the interest of continuing to move and not limping the whole way, I figure let's just go ahead and take care of it. You're welcome, by the way. There's no bullets here, so let's continue. You're probably wondering how we're gonna get over that mountain, and the answer is we're not. We're not gonna get over that mountain. Not a chance. But as always, there's another way around. And here it is. We're officially leaving Pleasant Valley. Ooh, it's dark. These are always kind of interesting. These guys are everywhere. Oof. Hope y'all aren't scared of heights. Alternatively, you could just not look down. That seems to solve the problem too. Admittedly, I haven't been through here in a hot minute, so we might get just a little bit lost, but not terribly, so we'll make it work. You can only get lost in so many ways in these caves. And eventually you'll run out of cave. Man, these cairns are everywhere. Anytime I go looking for them, I can't find them. But the moment I'm just kind of halfway ignoring them, they're just everywhere. Okay, so it turns out that is not the right tunnel, which is okay. You can go a different way. Did I already click this one? Yeah, I did. Now, I'm a little over encumbered, but I'm not going to need to climb just yet, not for a little while. So I'm okay with where we're at right now. Sometimes it's worth it to carry a little bit of extra. Huge sprain risk. Oh, I must have had wet clothes that were making things weigh a little more than they should. Okay. I don't know how I managed that, honestly. Where did my lantern go? Like, where's the... Oh. Interesting. And what's the line? What's the line? Intriguing. Highly disturbing. That's amazing. Wow. Okay. Ah, this is the way. Look, a dead guy. Very little to offer. Since we're doing nomad style, I'm not taking anything more than I need. Normally I would take the clothes and I would repair them and try my best to gain skill, but since we're being nomadic, there is absolutely no sense in carrying anything extra. Alright. This is actually a transition zone, the Winding River. And it leads us into another region. Now, a lot of you are probably seeing all this ice and going, man, that's gotta be dangerous to walk on. Well, there's only a couple of regions that have thin ice right now. I say right now. That may change, they may add regions, they may change mechanics, but currently, the only two regions that contain thin ice are Bleak Inlet and Forlorn Musket. Coastal Highway, if you get too close to the edge of the map, it'll turn to thin ice, but that's more of a deterrent to keep you from going off the map than it is an actual, like, hazard. So, honestly, thin ice is not a problem as long as you're not in those regions. Now, if you are in those regions, that can be problematic. But, there are some known safe paths to help you get through. And beyond that, you just got to be careful. So there's two spots that I want to go to before we hit Timberwolf Mountain, and those two spots contain items that we can pick up that will increase our carry weight. You remember I said there's 3 ways to increase it. There is the well-fed buff, which we have right now, that increases your carry weight by 11 pounds. So, we got that. So now my carry weight is 77 pounds instead of 66. The other two things are items that you can pick up. One of them you have to assign to an accessory slot, that's the Moose Hide Satchel. It increases it by another 11 pounds. And then on top of that is the, I believe it's called the Tactical Backpack. And it actually is like just a permanent buff that replaces your original backpack and increases carry weight by another 11 pounds. So you can max your carry weight out at 99 pounds of gear. Now that's quite a bit considering the average human, you know. You're carrying a good, at minimum, 2/3 of your body weight. So, ooh, there's a skill book. I will take that. I'll take Accelerant. Yes, I will take those. And yes, I am a little heavy. I know. That's okay. As long as I'm not in a region where I have to do a lot of rope climbing, I don't mind carrying a little bit of excess. I do like to retain my sprint if I can, but Mystery Lake doesn't have any places that, like, require you to climb a rope. There's places where you can, but there's no place where it's required. So I'm not too worried about carry capacity. But that right there is our destination. That is the Carter Hydro Dam. And that place is chock full of goodies. So what I'll probably just do as a nomad style is basically, I see a hatchet, is it better or worse than my current one? And if it's, I pick it up, I pick the better one, and I drop the other one. So that's basically what we're gonna do here. Now if I do find hides to cure, I could actually set up snares here. But that's not where I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go some other location. I have an idea of where I would like to go temporarily. I do need to hunker down in some places while I cure hides. Curing hides is very, very important at this stage of the game because I have things I need to make. I've got to make that good bedroll. I've got to make good deerskin pants and boots. I've got to make a wolfskin and a moose hide cloak. Now, I know that moose are not guaranteed, so it's not as high on my priority list just because I haven't seen a moose yet. But, oh, I should probably load these. That way if I need them, I have them. There's that one. Here's this one. I do not have much ammo. So, hunting a moose or a bear with this little ammo is not a great idea. Especially since when you're hunting animals and you shoot them, they actually have what's called a bleed out timer. If you hit it, it will eventually die. How long it takes it to bleed out depends on what animal it is and where you hit it. An animal will bleed out much faster if you shoot it in the chest versus if you shoot it in the foot. Moose do not have a bleed out timer. They don't bleed out and die over time. You just have to keep going at them until they keel over. It is very, very difficult, if not impossible, to one-shot a moose. I'm gonna need this in the next region over, so I will take it. Remind me. 1 scrap metal makes 2 arrowheads. Okay, good to know. I'm probably only gonna make about 10 arrows. It's about all. Once you make the arrowhead, it tends to retain its condition pretty well. So, oh, by the way, you can't get in this way. This is a one-way door, so once you exit it from inside, you can't go back in that way. You have to go in across here. And you have to be very, very careful. Hope y'all are not scared of heights, because if you are, you're really not gonna like this. When my friend introduced me to this game, he was like, oh yeah, this section will probably kill you, and I did it, and I was like, it's actually not that hard. You just have to be careful. Like, don't go sprinting across. But anyway, arrowheads hold their condition pretty well. So, if you break your arrow, the only things you'll have to replace are the shaft, and then some more feathers. You can harvest some feathers from the broken arrow shaft, or from the broken arrow item. So, it's good to keep some feathers on hand because they don't weigh very much. But I also want to minimize what I'm carrying, so I probably will not keep but maybe a few arrows worth of feathers on hand. I may keep all 10, I'm not sure. Okay, see right here, there's a deer carcass. Oh, that's a stone. Those are all stones. I want some feathers. I know there's feathers here. There we go. Any more feathers? No? I was really hoping that I would be able to find more feathers here, but that is okay. I can harvest this, and remember that it is easier to harvest hide and gut with a knife, but the meat is frozen, and it will be easier to harvest with a hatchet. If it's a fresh carcass, you can harvest the whole thing with a knife. No big deal. Alright, here's this. Any feathers drop while I was doing that? No? Okay. Well, that's annoying, but whatever. I am overloaded, but I can still sprint, so I am okay with where I'm at. What in the— oh. I was sitting here going, don't tell me they blocked this off. More cartridges? Heck yeah. And you actually go this way, through the window. Okay. Currently, my knife is at 94%, so it could technically stand to get replaced if I find something better, but nothing else is really worth replacing right now. I'm not gonna jack with the cooking pot. I'm already carrying one. But it is worth looking in containers. Sometimes you'll be able to find bullets. There's some places that it's always worth scavenging everything you can find, and this is one of them. So I don't mind spending time going through this and making sure I'm getting everything I need. Ammo in particular is very difficult to find. I'm not picking up a lot of junk food because I don't think I'll need it. I have the ability to hunt and fish, so I will be okay. Okay. Yeah, the creaking is kind of, you know, creepy, but it's not dangerous. It's just ambience. Ambiance. Now what I will do, when I find stuff like this, it does not hurt to go ahead and refuel. And there we go, and then I will just drop it so I'm not carrying it. I'll probably put it back on the shelf where I found it, just so it's easier to see. And there we go. I'm not gonna jack with the matches. I've got a fire striker, and that'll last me quite a while. The main reason I'm picking up scrap metal right now is because I'm gonna need some arrowheads. So I want one more piece of scrap metal, so that I can get a total of 10 arrowheads. And, 10 arrows should be sufficient for my needs. I may go up to 15. This is light. Very light. So I will absolutely keep that with me. Most of this stuff I'm not even gonna take. I'm not gonna jack with it. Okay. That's a very nice coat. Let me compare that coat to what I'm wearing right now. Let's see here. Now I would have to waste materials to repair it, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it back. Now the good thing about this type of play is that if I come back through here, the stuff's still gonna be here. The only thing that'll decay is food. This is actually worth picking up. It's a little bit weighty, but it's got so many calories, I would be a fool to pass it up. I would have to be just an absolute idiot to not take an MRE. Here's another thing right here, this jerry can. Move that out of plain view. Actually, I'll get it closer to plain view. So that way when I come back through here, I see it, and I go, ah, do I need this? And if I don't, no worries. And if I do, it's there. Torch, but I don't think I need that right now. I don't think I need to use a whetstone right now. We're good to go, so I'll just leave that there. I don't need that. Don't need that. I may as well take it. It doesn't weigh very much. There's a piece of scrap metal, so that's good. Some bullets, yes, I will take those. Go ahead and get this is scrap metal. And I think that'll be sufficient for my scrap metal needs. So this is the door right here, the exit door. This is the one I told you was a one-way. So make sure you don't go out that door unless you are trying to go back to Pleasant Valley. Because that door just, it only leads out. I don't think I need that. No. Admittedly, my instincts are telling me, hey, you should be picking this stuff up. And I'm having to remind myself, no. I'm nomading right now, so we don't need that. That's extra weight. Oh yeah. Yes. So the point of this, I'm not gonna just ignore things, because I still need them. But I'm gonna check and I'm gonna see, do I want to carry this with me long term? And if the answer is no, I'm not gonna pick it up. And right here, I've actually got 2 broken arrows, which is super nice. This storm lantern is not in very good condition. I'm not worried about it right now. Don't need that. Okay. What I can actually do is I can take these broken arrows and I can harvest them, and I get an arrowhead and 2 crow feathers. You need an arrowhead, 3 feathers, and a shaft to make a new arrow. So you can always recycle your arrowheads. And you can always get 2 of your 3 feathers back. So that's actually really good. We're carrying a little more than I'd like right now, but that is okay. So we've left the lower dam, we're now going into the upper dam. Now this is a place where a lot of people like to hunker down in Mystery Lake. There's a lot of materials. There is a workbench. It's warm. There's a fire barrel down here. So there's lots of people who prefer to hunker down in the dam. So if you're the type to hunker down and just use your supplies and only go out for what you need, this is a good place for it. It is also very close to things that you may need. There's a lake right outside, or excuse me, a river right outside, and that river is very close to spawn points for deer and wolves and also a moose. Now if you want bear, you'll have to venture a ways away, but that's still pretty good. A little bit further down the river, there's also a spot where you can set up snares. So, this is a good spot if you do want to just sit down. Do you have any rounds in you? I don't think it does. Let me look, just to make sure. It does not. Okay, then I don't care. If it has rounds in it, I will happily take it with me, but if it doesn't, there's no sense in it. Or at least I won't take it with me, I will just take the rounds. Sometimes if you pick up, it's always good to at least check weapons and see if they have ammo loaded inside there, because sometimes you'll find something with loaded ammo. Not always, but sometimes. It's always worth it to check. In a nomadic playstyle, you need that ammo. This hatchet is lesser quality. There's a rifle cartridge though. I don't usually use these, so I'm not gonna bother with those. I think I'm good. Okay. Ooh, is that another Fire Striker? Now that I will take, because the Fire Striker does eventually run out of condition. So I will always take extras. There we go. I think I mentioned this game does have fall damage, but if you don't fall very far, it's not that big a deal. So. Alright. I'm probably going to end up bedding down for the night here, but we will see how this goes. I would like to at least step outside and see if there is a moose I can go after. Anytime I encounter a moose spawn point, it's always worth it to check and see if there is a moose there. The trouble with that moose, then, in this style of play, is you may not be able to get all the meat in one go. You may have to hunker down and use up some of the meat. Or you may have to leave it, which seems like kind of a waste to me. I'll take fishing tackle. That's worth grabbing. What I'm gonna do, it's a little bit counterintuitive, all things considered, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw all my stuff down here. The heavy stuff, at least. Go ahead and drop most of that water. And drop this. This I'm gonna probably just take outside and set down. Put away the pry bar. Put this away. And I'm gonna drop these guys. And we're gonna go outside and we're gonna see if there is a moose out here. Because if there is, I want to go for it. The sooner I get that moose hide cloak out of the way, the sooner I can stop worrying about moose. And it looks like there's another deer here, so on the way back we'll have to make sure we harvest that. If we can get all our deer hides lined up, we can make our pants and our boots, and that means we won't have to worry about carrying the hides with us anymore. We can just harvest them as we need them for repairs. Because once you have you can't make a moose hide cloak and then repair it with leather. You have to repair it with another moose hide. So that's kind of the downside to all this. So let's have a look and see. This is probably the easiest way to do it, is to just come out here on the bridge and see what's out there. Looks like nothing. And that's okay. That happens quite frequently, that nothing is out there. Just to be safe, I'm gonna come over here and double check. Sometimes the moose will wander up by this train car up here. Not always, not very frequently. Most of the time, if he's not visible from the bridge, he's not down there. But it doesn't hurt to look. Now, since I've laid all my gear down, I don't want to go too terribly far from where I've set it down. I just want to double check this, and then we'll go right back, grab our gear, and hunker down for the night. So here's this. Nothing here. Now, a lot of moose spawns, if you look very closely, where did it go? There. If you look very closely, there's a tree back there that has the bark rubbed off of it. Not every moose spawn is marked in this way, but a lot of them are. Oh. We may not venture out here for nothing after all. Because in order to make a wolf hide cloak, you need 4 wolf pelts. And I think I turned off intestinal parasites, but I probably will not eat predator meat anyway. So, let's have a look and see if we can grab a wolf. Because if we can, that'd be good. Get our wolf hide cloak out of the way. That'd be nice. I heard one, but I do not see him now. There's some reshus right there. So that's nice. Huh. I do not see them now. Okay. Well, that's alright. Wolves do spawn in this area, so that can be helpful. Well, what let's do is let's go ahead and harvest this deer. We're gonna harvest everything. Feathers from around it, the hide, the meat. I'll probably sit the meat outside overnight so it does not spoil. But let's go ahead and grab it. Remember, the gut needs this. And there's still quite a bit of stuff to explore inside, so we're going to make sure we go take a look at that. And until I need it, this meat is just going to hang out right here. It's not in the best condition, but it actually is still perfectly edible once it's cooked. Back inside we go. Go ahead and... We're gonna pick up everything, but I'm gonna end up leaving the deer hide sit out, because that is the only way it will cure. You have to leave it set out inside for it to cure. So my deer hides, that's cured. There's the fresh one. There we go. Alright. Still carrying quite a bit, and that's okay. But, we'll have a look. Actually, let's read some skill books, and we'll just have a look at the rest of this stuff in the morning. Make sure you don't set your bedroll on those wires. I don't think they're live during an aurora, but I don't want to find out. So, let's read a skill book. This one only takes 5 hours, so let's have a look at that. I'll say it'll yell at me here in a second. I am too tired to continue researching. That is okay. Let's eat some food. That MRE will keep for quite a while, so let's eat the rabbit first. Do I have room for 450 more calories? I do not. That's okay. Let's have some water. Alright, and let's have a nap. Oh, well, it's a good thing we've double-checked them wires. That's an aurora. Alright guys, I think we'll go ahead and cut it here for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next go-round. Hopefully we'll find a moose we can take out, but if not, we'll scavenge the dam, and we'll move to our next location. Thank you for watching.